So you're a new trader and you're going, Forrest, I just joined your Discord. I see you guys calling stuff out, but what are your go-to trades? What are your number one, number two playbook trades? What are the trades that when you reach in your pocket, like that's the trade that's always there? What is the trade that when you're hungry in the morning, you open up the refrigerator, look at the door on the right, and like wrapped up in paper towel and maybe a little bit of aluminum foil is the leftover trade from the trade you made yesterday, right? And it's not enough really. Like you wish there was more. And when you were like making that trade yesterday, you contemplated leaving a little bit extra so that the leftovers will be a proportionate amount, but then it wasn't. And so you make that trade and you kind of have a little feeling in your stomach like you need another one. What are those trades? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you. My name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I'm a day trader. I cover investing topics, finance for the average layperson. So a lot of cool stuff on my channel. I'm going to start expanding the topics of conversation again. I do day trade every day. And in lieu of creating a whole other channel to talk about personal finance and things like that, I started a series, right? So I have a series on investing where I invest $250 every week. It's called The Macro. It's a podcast. Check it out. I started an account and I just buy things that you guys recommend. But my focus is helping people learn finance in fun and cool ways. And I'm also a day trader and have a community that I run with a good friend of mine who's named Soul. He's also a really good trader. So if you're interested in any of that, you're in the right space. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm also a super cool, laid back guy who takes life very seriously in the fact that we only have one, right? Nothing is promised. And so when we talk about day trading, even though I have super funny, I don't know, funny to me, you know, intros and stuff like that, day trading is one of the hardest things to accomplish, guys. There are no shortcuts. So unless you're willing to do the tedium, fall in love with doing research, journaling, right, the day of, right? So after you take a trade, writing these things down, the trades that I'm about to break through in this video, if you scrolled past this part and coming back, you want to write these down, right? You also want to go use your playback tool, right? Back testing doesn't have to be difficult, but you need to replay the market and see if you can identify and understand these trades that I'm about to call out for you, right? It's super easy to go back historically and look at the bull flag or the double top or the double bottom. But what's different, as I'm sure you're aware, is that when you're actually in the market live and the market gets back to that previous all-time high and is creating what you think is a double top within a session, are you going to take that short? Again, this is real time, right? Green candle after green candle after green candle, and we come up to the previous high. How do you know it's a double top, that we're not just about to break away and run into all-time highs, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about the mentality of that, but really this video is going to be purely focused on just the technical, you can almost call it the mechanical setups, really playbook trades that are my go-tos. Another thing that I know people are going to bring up, man, I almost thought I wasn't recording. That would have been bad. It's 11 p.m. guys. This is a little late. You know, I was working out. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've been working out. Look at these little, all the juice up in that hammy. That's not hammy. I was thinking of ham when I said it, but your hamstrings are in your legs. What were we talking about? Who knows? Let's just go into the charts. Let's do it. I forgot what I was talking about entirely. Something about taking it serious, which you should. You really should take it serious, guys. I have a free journal that I made, linked down below. It doesn't matter how you journal. It's more about the practice and doing it. You need to have your own database. For example, the gamma trades that I take, things like that, all are journaled for me. Okay, so we're gonna open up the market, and we're gonna look at Friday. It's 11:37. Market is open post settlement. All right, so we're looking at NQ. I'm an index trader, and we're gonna talk about the first playbook trade is going to be a previous session POC retest. Okay, I'm gonna explain what all of those components are. We're not going to go super in depth into the volume profile. These are just the playbook trades so that you have them. So if you're somebody, this is more like a mid-level kind of course video. Think of it as that, right? So you understand some of the key concepts. This is how you make plays with them. Okay, previous session, POC, retest. All right, so let's hit the replay tool. We're going to use the 15-minute. Actually, we'll go to the 1 hour because there's a few concepts I want to break down here. Okay. And we'll let our indicators recalculate. And we want to go to the close, actually. So we're going to stop the replay. We're on the 1 hour. And I want to go to the close of June 13th, guys, Thursday. There's a few sessions here I actually want to break down for you. Okay. All right. So what do we have? Ignore this trend line. It doesn't actually exist yet. But on the 1 hour, right? We can see the 1500 candle, which is the 3 o'clock candle, okay? So from 3 to 4 came in with a top wick, all right? See that the volume generally is lower. It's because we're in a contract change. It's a weird time overall. Nonetheless, the previous session POC, June 12th, is down here at 760. You can see I had a red line here marked. That was a different time frame POC. So if we go to the 30 minute, let's see where the POC is. It's right there. If we go to the 15, we can see that the line that I marked was probably the 15-minute POC. All right, so I marked the POC on the 15. We're going to use the 1 hour though. I have moved this a few times, so ultimately it doesn't really matter too much. I want to say that first and foremost. I recommend actually doing what I did and going and looking at the POC across those time frames and seeing how it differs. Okay, so we have this POC, previous session POC. The market came up, okay, in this session that I'm replaying Thursday. There's another session, and you can see that we tested it and bounced. So that's exactly what we want, right? This previous session POC, the first play here was actually to look at the 1 hour candles. You can see that we had higher volume top wicks, came down, retested it, bounced, and the closing candle was another higher volume top wick. So if we look at the candle here at 1500, right, which is the 3 o'clock candle, we can see it's a higher, relatively higher volume top wick, right? That tells me simple TA, right, with a shooting star candle here, that this is going to come down. Now, I need to figure out what is a good downside target, okay, the previous session POC. But you'll have to think here that tomorrow we're actually closing at the POC. So this is where the market can get complex really, really fast, and why it's hard for people to make these decisions live. This session POC that was key here on Thursday, if we go even further back, okay, let's just replay all the way to Thursday. So we had this session that closed here. Okay, market came up. So this is the overnight, okay, Wednesday overnight. Get some candles, starts to sell off, comes down. You have to think, where's the target going to be, right? When we do a doji candle here, all-time highs, the previous session's point of control, right? The time in the auction, the price in the auction with the most amount of transactions, right? So we're looking at volume at a price. Volume profile, literally, right? We put in, what happens here? We put in a very high volume top wick and a doji on the 1 hour. You have to be thinking this is going to come down. This is 7 a.m. by the way. It doesn't really matter what time frame we're on. Comes down, we get the rejection, okay? To the high, it sweeps it, top wick, very common sweep formation here, right? They swept this price when got these people and quickly rejected it with strength. I know it's lower volume, but within the context of overnight, pretty good, right? Comes down, continues, boom, touches it. Okay, so now we're getting into, this is the noon candle here when we first touched this session POC. We get here, we come here, and there's that closing candle. So the candle from 3 to 4 was a higher volume top wick. What do we think is going to happen? Okay, if you scroll back in time or just look at the chart, you can figure it out. I need to figure out, again, we've rejected these highs with volume. Overnight is creeping up, but this was an actual short that I took here. Let's get rid of this key level here, right? It shouldn't exist at this point in time. I actually took a short here. I got back from the gym, shout out to Powerhouse Miami. Got back from the gym, took a little short here, looking for this POC. I was actually a little too conservative with this. I lied there. Didn't mean to do that, guys. This was my price target. I front ran my target because I just didn't trade that the best that I should have. I should have held to the price target. I didn't. I got a nice trade out of it nonetheless, right? So if we see from here to here, the expected value is a little over 100 points. I ended up getting like 60 on my trade, okay? So it comes up, right? Starts to sweep this price a little bit. We still have these candles though. Remember, this is overnight price action, and anywhere from 2 to 4, we should get a move, okay? It drops off. Where's our target? Now, we have this point of control, but we can see here that the break of this shape and with this candle brings us lower. We're at this value area low, but you have to think, what is going to be a key level? Probably this point of control again. And we get it, okay? Previous session point of control is such a key price, guys. Now, if we play the market to after the 7 a.m. retest, look where it went. Back up to the point of control. So trading between point of controls is ultimately just as simple as it gets for trading. So that's playbook trade number 1. I walked through that with like 3 examples packed across 2 sessions, if not 4. But we can see how the point of control is such a key level. And if you're ever looking for safe expected value targets, right? And I say safe because there's usually more EV across these trades. But if you trade across a low, for example, into the point of control, good EV, we can see that it extended. Who cares? Okay, we can see this short here came down to this point of control. Nice little trade. You could have gotten in at the tippity top if you can see into the future. You could have gotten in here, could have gotten in here, right? After this point of control, you probably don't want to short on that one, but still good EV on that. So these point of controls are super, super duper important. Okay, another trade that we want to take is a sweep of the range. So let's zoom into the 15-minute. And I mean a sweep of overnight highs or overnight lows, right? That is a general trade that we want to take. So let's look at this session here. This is a good example of a trade that we might want to take. Well, no, that was that first POC retest. Okay. No, this fits the criteria. So this is multiple trades in one. This is going to be a retest of this POC, but still there is a component here that tells you that there's almost time for that V shape, right? And that is the sweep of a previous key level. So we can see a few here. There was this level that formed, and then we swept it, right? Came in with some intensity, swept it at 8:45. Market timing is always a component here, right? So when we look for sweeps, you have to think, is the market at 8:45 a.m. going to put in a new high, check mark, and run away? Probably not. In the morning, they like to come and clean up any liquidity. So they sweep this. The market opens. What happens? They come back through, right? Sweep this low. Now, overnight low. So there's this low here, and then there's a morning low here at 10:30. This one got swept. This one got swept, and we swept it with the move to the point of control. So in addition to there just being a plain old POC trade here, we also got the sweep of a range low, right? This is really just a lower low, lower high scenario, but we came into the point of control, and you can catch a perfect V there. How do I know that we're in a high probability of a rejection here? Well, we swept the morning range low. So either the morning range opening high or the morning range higher low. So from like 9:30 to 10:30, higher low, look for sweeps of those levels, and then look for overnight high and lows. So sweeps of those prices give you strong indication of the shape of the session. Let's just go look at some other examples. And I'm literally don't have a pre-planned example for this. I'm just looking at price action so you can understand what I mean. Here's a good example here. Okay, this is June 24th. Let's get our replay back to here. Okay, yeah, whatever. So this is the 9:15 candle, all right? And our overnight high is here at 369. So we do option J. Overnight low is here at 287. Overnight, we'll do option J. So look at the red lines here. I want to put an alert here at the overnight high and low for sweeps. Let's see what we get. All right, well, we swept that price, rejected it, right? So the overnight low got swept. Price comes back up. Whoops. Whoa. That's not what I meant to do. All right, well, you can see here that both times when we swept this price, I don't know why it's just running now. Let's hit stop on that. We came down. Actually, let's just do it again. I want to make sure we get this right, guys. I want to make sure we get this just right for you folks. Okay, we're going to come back. Come back to 9 a.m. Alrighty. Overnight high, overnight low. Next candle. We come down. We swept it. Boom. We can see here that there was also some previous lows here. So we have some confluence for rejection. My target price is going to be my point of control. So I take a little long. Okay. Comes in. Take some profits, right? I'm not going to break down the whole day. There could be a lot of reasons to either hold to the other side of the range or not. We're in a range market, so probably holding for the value area high would be good there. That's not the point of this setup here, right? Good take profit is always the POC. Use the other things, right? Goal of this video, again, playbook trades, guys. I want you to think right now just on the sweeps of overnight highs, overnight lows, opening range high, opening range lows, okay? Look for a touch of a key level. With that sweep, take the mean reversion trade. So the mean reversion trades is we're coming back to the mean, the average of the session. I'm using that word a little loosely because the point of control is not the mean. There is VWAP And there are many means that we can calculate. When VWAP, which is this blue line, and the point of control are stacked, that's a pretty good confluence for a take profit though, right? You can see here that there's more expected value across this. And my simple answer to that every time is who cares, okay? Take the trades that make a lot of sense. We're playing poker. Okay, so we come up, boom. We crack the overnight high, right? It's running up. We've got green, 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 right? I immediately should be thinking, I want to short. Now, I have an HVN marked here on the higher time frames, the high value node on the volume profile. So we found my key level, okay? And you take a short. Now, even without this key level, I might be thinking to short unless, right? And we could zoom into the 3 minute or something like that to look for a signal. You know, we have the bear flag forming here on the 3. Finding a good entry. You're probably not going to short the very tip top. I don't either, but I'm looking for an entry as soon as we sweep this, right? Confirmation that we're not going to trend. And once I have that confirmation that we're going to trend, I'm going to take a short with my take profit for what? Again, pop quiz, point of control, 78 points of expected value. Come down. Okay. It rejects in this low value node. So a few things here, real time. Okay. If I was trading this real time and not printing 15-minute candles, downside, I want the point of control as the biggest node, but there is a node right here. Okay, so I'm going to trail, once I take this short, I'm going to trail into this node, right? And this whole node is valid for a trail, in my opinion, okay? This entire node to trail my stop. Why? Because this is just like the POC node, which is here, there are a lot of people here, okay? So it could bounce, it could do something there, okay? And let's see what happens. Comes down, almost gets to the point of control, rejects. So we missed the POC by a little bit, but we notice that the point of control moved up. So they fill this node in. And that happens in real time. Okay. So that's why you trail. So you trade the edges of the market. It's so simple, guys. We're looking for the edge of the market. And even though it doesn't go perfectly, there's a ton of wiggle room, all right? 74 points to get a trade. Let's assume that you get a third of that, right? With imperfect, entries and exits, you get a third of that. Let's do 74 divided by 3. Right, 24 points, one contract, just made $500. Boom. Okay, you're probably doing a little better than that if you're trading in our Discord. If you go wap.com/tradeedge, you're in the Discord. Okay, so that's the second setup. Overnight high, overnight low, sweeps. Okay, what do I mean by sweep? I have had people ask me that before. So I don't know if that's an official trading term, so I apologize. I say it all the time. I call a sweep when you come through a price. Okay, which is different than retesting it. Okay, this in my opinion is a retest. So we retested this area. The people down here did not get cleaned up. That's why I call it a sweep, right? We're sweeping them up. These people, we retested this price in this scenario, but we did not clean these people up, right? There's people down here that did not get retested. It got pretty close, right? In this case, we put this in. All these people here got cleaned up, right? They got cleaned up. Came and got them. We put in a new high. Boom. Another thing to think about with these that really helps, I notice people in the conception like this, is don't lose track of something very simple called lower lows, higher highs, or lower lows, lower highs. Right? Always think of the trend. Okay. Does what I'm expecting, either in a range day or otherwise, match with the trend on the 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever, right? What should the shape of the market look like? And what time of the day would that have to happen as well? There's a lot of layers to this. It's not as simple as it's just going to sweep it. It might sweep it at 10:30, right? Lunchtime we know is slow. This choppy price action breaks down. It starts barcoding. Then anywhere, depending on the session, right? Volume will pick up from like 1 all the way to the close, right? It could be a move at 2. Maybe you see an M pattern, double top forming at 2. You're probably going to get that afternoon move right between 2 to 2:30. As you watch the market every day and you start to understand the timings and you see these patterns setting up, right? If you're looking at a flag forming, right, and you know that, the market closes in 7 minutes, you're probably not going to get extension of the flag before the close. You're not. You're probably going to get the flag to play out after some overnight back and forth into the next day. Okay, things like that all mattered, both with the POC retest and this as well. So those are the two playbook trades. We'll keep it short. I honestly think that if you just focus on these two, right, it's going to help you do a lot of things. Let me go ahead and just get rid of this so I can monologue to you guys, okay? If you focus on that, it's going to help with a lot of things. One, days where you don't see that, you will not trade. And this is so key. for basically everyone in Trade Edge, our Discord community. There's a lot of people still looking for trades on days where there aren't any. I'm not saying that there aren't other trades. These trades, though, I think are easier to identify, and at least you can start to, I'm not going to say it's giving you edge, right? Your edge depends on your ability to identify these and execute them, but you have some, shape by which to build your foundation in. Okay. If you're trying to do everything, one, I guarantee you that most of you aren't journaling all of the different types of thesis that you have. Most of you aren't journaling at all. But if you just have 2 types of trades that you're looking for, it's easy. Let's use the POC retest. So if we're in a market and you're like, there's no way it retests a prior POC, and you're like, I can't figure out what key price to take a longer short off of, that should be like a light bulb for you of, oh, maybe I'll do nothing today. Maybe my goal for this session should be to observe and learn something. Okay, I say this in my community sometimes, like your goal should be to learn, or I'll tell people I'm just going to watch today and learn. And I think I'm totally assuming, but like, I think people think I'm just like joking or making that up, but I'm not. I'm literally, and this goes back to what I said at the beginning of this video. If you don't take this seriously, you will never be successful. Doesn't matter how funny or unfunny you are, straight-laced or not straight-laced. Okay, trading is one of those things where it's like there's a minimum set of activities, and one of those is being absolutely obsessed with the market, understanding price action, taking notes, and measuring so that you can improve. You can't improve what you don't measure. If you're not measuring, you're probably not improving. And some of you are afraid to measure because you're afraid of what you'll find out. You'll find out how good you aren't. And that's something for you to deal with. Nonetheless, there they are. Again, in celebration of passing 10,000 subs, we have half or 50% off of the Discord. The Discord is a way for you to learn again, right? So it is a community. We have a lot of fun. It's growing awesomely now, which we love to see. A lot of new traders in there. A lot of people finding success, passing evals, getting their payouts. But yeah, it's for people that want to learn how to trade seriously. Check us out. We also have a 7-day free trial as well. So there's literally no reason not to try it out if you want to. Hit me up on Instagram if you have questions. Hit me up on Discord if you have questions. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.